Hey, welcome back. And this is the last video in our React 101 workshop series. And today I'm going to tell you how we can take the React app that we just made over the past few videos and deploy it online so everyone can see it, including hackathon judges, your friends, family, and significant others. But yeah, before we get started, just to let you know, this works with the previous code that I went through, but it should work with any app created with Create React App. So let's get started. Before we actually use GitHub and Netlify, our two deployment services, we're going to first just make sure that our app compiles. And we can do that by running npm run build. If you followed our workshop to the T, this should just work out of the box. But if you do have any problems, please try to fix those. The build's not going to work otherwise. And it might just take some time. So let's come back in a moment. And we're back. If you get a screen like this, that means we're good to go. So we can close our terminal now. And I'm going to open a web browser and head to github.com. If you're not familiar, GitHub is a service that people use to share and collaborate on code all the time. Today, we're going to use it to upload a copy of our app. So we're going to hit that new repository button in like the left thing here. And you can just name it whatever you want. And this is kind of all we have to do. We don't have to fill out any of these steps. And in particular, we're going to be importing an existing repository. So please don't check any of these boxes. Then we can just hit create repository and we'll be given this screen that says, hey, you got a bunch of different options on what you want to do. And in our case, we're going to push an existing repository from the command line. So these ones. But first, we got to head back to our terminal and we're going to make sure we just add all of our changes. If you're not familiar with Git from the command line, ACMW is holding a great Git and GitHub workshop. I definitely recommend that. But I'm just going to quickly run through them with you here too. Git add dot just means let's add everything in our folder. So, we're going to prep everything. And then here, I'm just going to type in git commit -m. And this means now that we've added everything, let's actually save it. And I'm just going to type in, finishing workshop. That's it. It's pretty simple. You might have to type in your password or something, and then it'll just give you this message. Once all of this stuff is done, we can run these commands right here. So we can just copy that and then paste it straight into your command line. And this should be pretty simple too, no problems here. Once this is done, you can refresh the page and you'll actually notice that this screen is going to disappear. And now you're going to have all of the code that you actually wrote. And if we head to source and app.js, for example, this is kind of all the stuff that we wrote. So now your code is on GitHub. And GitHub does way more things than just this, but this is all we're going to do today. Now I'm going to switch gears to Netlify. So Netlify is a company that does this thing called continuous deployment. So basically, every time you upload your code to GitHub, it will automatically push it and compile it and then deploy it so that everyone can see it, which is a really convenient feature. So I'm going to log in. I already have an account, but you can make one with GitHub pretty easily. Then I'm just going to create this click this new site from Git button. And this is a super simple wizard, just 3 steps. First, we're using GitHub, so let's pick that. Secondly, it's going to say, hey, you got to pick which repository you want to link it to. I have a ton of repositories, but we can just use the search bar here. And you can remember that, I named my thing QWER Hacks test. The last build option is this like build options and deploy thing. Netlify is really smart, so we can kind of pre-fill what you need to do already. The only kind of difference between what you might have and what I have is whether or not you'll have yarn build or npm run build. It doesn't really matter. Then we can just hit the deploy site button and that's it. You just configured Netlify. The first deploy is going to take a bit of time. So let's, fast forward and we're back. So now we're done. We can just click this button right here. It takes us to this link and you'll see that our app works and we can, type in tweets and stuff and say, Shirvani is so cool and hit that create button. Bam. That's our name. And then we can, say, oh, Spurthy is so good at React. And as you can see, our app works just like the way that we coded it and we're done. And you can send this link to anyone you want. As a quick, just final thing I'll note, every time you want to update the website, all you have to do is do git add period, git commit with a message, or then type in git push, and that's it. Netlify and GitHub will handle absolutely everything else, and then your app just refreshes and works out of the box. And that's it. Last, just few things I'll mention. We have a few other workshops that are related to React, and I've made another one that talks about how to use React with Firebase, which is this very common service that helps with databases and backend. But beyond that, we've got a ton of other great workshops lined up. I'd encourage you to check those out. And as always, if you've got questions about what we've talked about, please hit up the mentors. We'd love to help you. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me and watching this video, learning a little bit more about React. I hope this was helpful. And I'm super excited to see what all of you are going to make at QWER Hacks 2021. So good luck. I know you're going to do great. See ya.